All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and today we are talking about the Utah receiving core. Now, Utah is playing USC this weekend, and USC is probably the most high-powered offense we have gone up against this season. Utah is going to be up for a challenge on defense, but also a challenge on offense to make sure we put up enough points to beat USC. And when I say that, the whole concept behind this video is we had a great game against Cal last week. We ran the ball down their throats. We nearly tripled Cal's average opponent rushing yards allowed. That's awesome. But we only threw for 128 yards. Some of that can be contributed to the fact that we were running the ball so well. But some of that, I mean, 128 yards, guys, that's really low. And I think so much of the blame has been put on the quarterbacks on the quarterbacks that you gotta look elsewhere, right? So one, the coaching, but two, and just so you know, justifiably, some of the blame is on Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson. A lot of the blame. But there's very little talk about this receiving room. This receiving group has to do better. Outside of Mikey Matthews, who's been making some plays, there's very few guys that are getting a lot of reps that are actually looking good or grading out well. So we're going to dive into it, guys. We're going to talk about where this receiving core is right now, but also it's not just going to be a pessimistic thing. I'm going to give a suggestion and some thoughts on how we can improve it and how the coaching staff might be able to improve it. So before we do that, please make sure you guys smash that like button. That'll help get it out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below. I'm going to be talking about a specific player that has shined a few times this year, even though he's gotten very limited reps. And I really think we need to give this guy a bigger role. And if you guys agree, you'll know who I'm talking about once the video gets going. If you guys agree or disagree with that, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Also, subscribe to the channel, guys. It's Utah versus USC week. The content's going to be coming out like crazy. Make sure you guys are around for all the content and share the video with someone that would find it valuable, someone that would think this type of topic is fun. On that note, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about the Utah receiver room. All right, guys, and here we are. We are looking at the Utah Utes wide receiver room. Let's take a look here. So, right out the gate, the guy I was talking about earlier, Mikey Matthews, straight stud, dude. 21 receptions, 202 yards, true freshman, no touchdowns yet, but the kid, he comes out, he makes plays, and he looks really good doing it. Seriously, Mikey Matthews can't get enough credit for what we've been doing passing the ball this year. He makes tough contested catches. He gets open pretty well and just feels like a guy that has that gamer mentality, that gamer attribute that you can't coach people. He just kind of gets it done, whatever the situation is, very high football IQ, and just kind of makes plays. He's grading out at a 69.9 so far this year. And considering we played a very tough schedule to start the year, that's an awesome grade. I mean, it's very rare a true freshman on any team in the country is grading out at a 69.9 with the schedule that Mikey Matthews has been playing. But let's go back over to the actual grades or the stats here. The other two guys I want to point out, and I do need to call them out a little bit, are Money Parks and Devon Vele. Money Parks and Devon Vele, 12 receptions apiece, 164 yards for Vele, 169 for Money Parks. Now, I know they're playing with a different quarterback than they're used to, and to be fair, Money Parks does have 2 touchdowns, but it doesn't justify the lack of performance we're seeing, especially when we go back over to the grades here, guys. These are very low grades. I mean, Money Parks is serviceable, right? Like, it's not what you want to see. It's the below average to badish area, but it's not dreadful. Devon Vele's in the dreadful range. And I think part of that is Devon Vele's a big physical receiver, and he thrives at like jump ball opportunities, contested catch opportunities. And I don't think he's gotten a ton of those with Cam being out. I think Cam developed a chemistry with Devon where he was willing to throw it up and um, and just give him opportunities, right? To give it a try. I don't think he's getting the same opportunities from the other quarterbacks, but still, where's the separation, right? Look at these receiving grades from the two guys. I mean, Devon's not even run blocking well, and then receiving grade wise, 55 for Devon and 56.7 for Money Parks. I mean, seriously, Mikey Matthews is what's holding this wide receiver room together right now. And I also want to point out over here, guys, look at this. 149 receiving snaps for Devon Bailey, 149 receiving snaps for Money Park. So they're basically in on every single passing play. And then 103 receiving snaps for Mikey Matthews. So when you look at that and consider that Mikey Matthews has been in on about 2/3 as many as many snaps as those two have, I mean that's a little embarrassing for the vets there, right? Like, how are they doing so much less with so much more opportunity? One number I want to talk about today is yards per snap, right? So yards per route run, however you guys want to look at it. This is when you're in, you're actually running, you're on a receiving play. So, for example, um, Money Parks is 169 yards on 149 receiving plays. So let's take 169 divided by 149 receiving plays. That's 1.13 yards per passing play that Money Parks is in. So that's when Bunny Parks is out there for a passing play, he's averaging 1 yard a play basically, or 1.13. Not good. Devon Bailey is going to be right there with him, just a little lower, 164 yards divided by 149 receiving plays. I know this is a lot coming at you guys, but I hope you guys are keeping up with me. And so Devon Bailey will be at 1.10 receiving yards per receiving play. And however you want to look at it, guys, it's per snap, whatever, right? So, real quick, just to recap, Devon Vele is looking at 1.10 yards per receiving play. That's his 164 receiving yards divided by 149 receiving snaps. Money Parks is looking at 1.13 receiving yards per receiving play. And so that would put him at 1.13 yards per receiving play. Now let's take a look at Mikey Matthews. So Mikey Matthews has 202 receiving yards on 103 receiving plays. So he's 1.96 yards receiving per play. So think about that, guys. Think about what that means. The true freshman is nearly doubling the production of these two guys. It shows in the grades, it shows in the stats. Seriously, I mean, these guys need to do better. And I don't think the quarterbacks feel super reliable throwing to Money Parks and Devon Bailey right now. They need to step it up. Seriously, what they're doing right now is not good enough. We need better results from our veteran receivers. All right. Before we get out of here, guys, like I just pointed out, the receiving room has some real struggles right now, right? Seriously, it's hard to ignore it. But we do have some bright sides with the receiving room. So take a look here, guys. Munir McClain, a 91.0 grade on 49 offensive snaps. That's through the roof. Not only is he receiving really well, like it's an elite receiving grade, he's also run blocking at an elite level. And to be fair, I'm sure people are already ready to type it in the comments. A good chunk of this grade was against Weber State, right? No getting around that. But the guy has 20 receiving plays. And on 20 receiving plays, look at this number, guys. He has 4 catches for 133 receiving yards. That's nuts, right? That's super, super good. So let's go ahead and see what that would be. So 133 receiving yards, you divide that by 20 receiving plays. This guy is averaging 6.65 receiving yards per receiving snap. He finally got more time against Cal, and he made a huge 41-yard play against Cal. He did the same thing with the limited opportunities he got against Weber State. I am very adamant that, maybe the experiment doesn't work with Munir McClain. But what do you have to lose right now? Seriously, the guy looks like a playmaker. He's getting a ton of separation. Like, don't forget, the quarterback play has not been fantastic. That's elite yardage per receiving snap. 6.65 yards per receiving snap. Let's hope that we can get Munir McClain in there and see him really light it up when we play USC, because he could really open up the pass game. He was like 1/3 of our passing yards against Cal were to Munir McClain on one catch. Seriously, I hope he gets in more. I hope he gets to showcase his skills more. He continues to be the highest graded offensive player in every game he gets snaps in. I I wonder what's going on there. Is it behind the scenes stuff? Are they worried to put him too much in the offense? Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Munir McClain looks like a beast. Again, it's a small sample size, but he looks great, guys. Before we get out of here, please make sure you guys like the video. Also, comment down below. Munir McClain's the guy I was talking about. Do you guys want to see him get a lot more reps? I know I do. Looks really good to me. But also, what do you guys think of the rest of the receiving room? Do you blame most of that on the quarterback? Do you think it's somewhere in the middle? Want to hear your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel as well. It's Utah versus USC week. A ton of content's going to be coming at you guys. So if you want to be informed, you want to know what's going on, or you just live, eat, and breathe Utah football the way me and the crew do here at Utah Utes Football Digest, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please share the video with a friend. All the distribution you guys can do helps. I'm out of here. Go Utes.